The benign follow up Hoover blinds you. Emotional thinking is the enemy. Most people do not know of its existence and fail to recognize it when it manifests, so that they are misled by flawed logic. This occurs when a narcissist comes along and executes a benign follow-up Hoover. There are many different types of Hoover. If you escape us, in the immediate aftermath, most of the time you will receive what is called the initial grant Hoover, especially if you are the intimate partner, primary source, where the narcissist pulls out all of the stops to get you back. To bring you back into the formal relationship, and sometimes that will indeed work. You come back, you seek to reconcile, you return home, you start the relationship up again. If the narcissist disengages from you, or you escape and stay escaped, then thereafter you face follow-up Hoovers. Follow-up Hoovers can take any form: a telephone call, a text message, hanging around outside your house, hoovering by proxy through a friend or a relative. The follow-up Hoover either comes in malign or benign, and either comes in an attempt to draw you back into the formal relationship, or a follow-up Hoover that just seeks to assert control, gain fuel from you, possibly character traits and residual benefits, but doesn't seek to resurrect the formal relationship. So, for instance, you might receive a nasty message from the narcissist sent by text. This is a malign follow-up Hoover, which is designed to assert control over you and draw fuel from you. And perhaps if it makes a threat with regard to the repayment of money, it is seeking the residual benefit of the repayment of that money. If the narcissist contacts you some point in the future, professing to have changed his ways, mended his behavior, expressing regret for how things ended, and asking if you would meet and discuss matters with him, perhaps look at giving him another chance, that of course seeks to control you. It also will seek fuel, but it is looking at resurrecting the formal relationship again. Usually, when the narcissist returns to you at a later juncture by way of a follow-up Hoover, it will be benign. The reason for this is that in effect the reset button has been pressed, somebody else has become black, and you've become painted white. Moreover, the seduction in effect starts again. And when the narcissist first hoovered you in at the very beginning of your relationship, he did so with sugar and honey and all things delicious and wonderful. He didn't do so in a malign way. Accordingly, when the relationship has ended, either because you escaped and you resisted initial grant Hoover, or the narcissist disengaged from you, at a future point, when the narcissist comes knocking again, they will invariably come with a benign follow-up Hoover, either to seek fuel, character traits, residual benefits, and to assert control over you, or to seek all of those things and to resurrect the formal relationship. The problem is that people don't realize what it is that is actually coming along. They don't necessarily realize they're being hoovered, and even if they do, their climbing emotional thinking because they haven't been in a strict no-contact regime beforehand means that they miss what is really going on. This video, not only explaining to you those dynamics and mechanics that I've just explained, also provides you with an analogy referencing the video Like a Motorway, which I recommend that you listen to also. You know how much I like to drive my car. It's an impressive vehicle. It is fast, attractive, and demonstrates to the world beyond just how superior I am, demonstrating it to other road users as I surge past them with just the slightest pressure on the accelerator. Cocooned inside this metal shell, I race from place to place in order to carry out my engagements, gathering fuel in this place, ensuring a devaluation is doled out in that place, and dropping by at the other place to open the passenger door and to tempt you with this follow-up Hoover to clamber back into the passenger seat, giving you a winning smile and a reassurance that, last time, I made a mistake. You remember last time, don't you? When I took you along the motorway and then dumped you there, leaving you with a long walk back. How could you forget? You still have the blisters and the aching legs, haven't you? Well, climb in and allow me to ease your suffering. I promise I won't leave you in the middle of the motorway again, distraught and facing a lengthy walk home. No, I am sorry about that. Why did I do that? Let's not get into all of that right now. There's plenty I want you to see, and I'd rather show you how good I can be than go over that old ground again. Don't you agree? That was in the past, and we both need to move on if we are going to make this work. I pat the leather seat invitingly as you hover by the passenger door, uncertain. You look at me with a mixture of longing and wariness. You need to hurry up if you're getting in. There are plenty of others who want to sit there, I observe, as I look over your shoulder. You spin around and see several people, mainly women but some men, advancing towards you along the motorway. They are running, and as they get nearer, you can hear them shouting as they plead for me to wait. You stand for an instant and watch the nearing mob, limbs flailing as they hurtle towards us. They will soon be on you, and they will trample you into the ground in order to get into here, I warn. This jolts you into action, and you get into the car, slamming the door closed and pressing the lock button. Go, go, you urge, as the admiring mob gets ever closer. I smile to myself as I press down on the accelerator, and we drive away, leaving the disappointed mob stood in a cloud of dust and exhaust fumes as they watch you and me race away across the empty motorway ahead of us. I turn and look at you, and already I can see that you feel comfortable as you sink into the luxury of the passenger seat. You have slipped your worn-down and scuffed shoes off, allowing your sore and blistered feet to sink into the thick carpet which lines your side of the car. I hear you give a little sigh of contentment as you tilt your head back. Always feels good to get back in this car, doesn't it? I ask. You nod and reach out a hand towards me, touching me on the arm. It's a beautiful day, I remark, as I nod my head towards the windscreen. You give a little gasp, as the clouded horizon which existed only a few moments ago has somehow vanished, and now you are staring at the bright cornflower blue sky and a golden, blazing sun. Where did that come from? You wonder aloud, and look at me. I say nothing, but let you reach your own conclusion about how everything is always better when you are with me. Are you thirsty? You look parched, I comment, and motion to a drink held in one of the cup holders next to you. You pick it up and suck the cold, delicious liquid through the straw as I continue to hurtle along the motorway. You gaze out of the window as the embankments which normally grip the motorway and hide your view of what is beyond have now disappeared. Instead, you are afforded a breathtaking view of the undulating countryside which rolls away to the snow-topped hills in the distance. The land is kissed by golden light, full trees dotted here and there, the whole scene idyllic, and, just as you always imagine, the countryside to luck. It is as if I can read your thoughts and show you what you want to see. You've always thought that. I appear to have some sixth sense, which enables me to create the very scene or environment that delights you the most and accords with what you want to see. You missed that when you were trudging along that bleak and grey motorway beneath the leaden firmament. You continue to gaze through the windscreen, marvelling at the scenery outside, the beauty and the serenity breathtaking, along with the absence of anyone else. Your eyes are wide, looking at the vast scene that unfolds beyond the windscreen as you enjoy the comfort of my ride. So transfixed are you by what you see outside of my car, you fail to notice the dots and the specks which are forming on the windscreen. You are oblivious to the flies that smash against the glass, their insignificant lives obliterated in an instant by my driving forward at such speed and with such intent. The insects never saw me coming, flying along, blissfully unaware of what was hurtling towards them, and would wipe them out in a moment. More and more bloody smears coat the windscreen, and you still do not see them as they begin to mount up. I keep glancing up at you, but you are so transfixed by the beauty outside that the increasing death toll under your nose is going unnoticed. I do not activate the windscreen wash nor the wipers, preferring to keep this carnage in full view, yet this obvious massacre is not countenanced by you. I allow myself a little smile, as this test confirms what I knew would be the case. Just like a fly on the windscreen, you have little idea of just how close you are to such danger, how your existence hangs in the balance, and how it is all down to me, now that I have brought you under control once again.